guys, I totally forgot that I was going to do a pull off this thing. So, and I decided that I don't really like the completely unsaturated quinacridone magenta. So I've mixed a bit of the quin magenta with some of the yellow and some iridescent turquoise blue, because I know that purple looks nice and it's a complementary color to yellow. So I'm going to try putting that on and then get it a little wet. Then I'm going to do some pull-offs with some smaller pieces of tissue and we'll see how that looks. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I've mixed up, you probably can't see it, just with the brush. It's kind of a brownie, because we're mixing cool and warm colors together. It gives us a muted kind of purple, which is actually better because it creates another difference over top of this very non-muted yellow. Okay, so let's just have a little fun here and do some drips. Drips are great. Don't want to, and then maybe I'll try like another area where I actually just put the paint on more. This time I'm not pouring it on like I did the yellow. Oh, I like how that looks just as it's starting to work. Spread it a little bit. I'm going to add some water to this in a second. You know, I mean, you're probably thinking, oh man, that looks butt ugly, but you know what? It doesn't matter. This is, if you're worried about something looking good all the time, you'll never do anything. So my advice is just do it anyway, and then you'll learn from those so-called mistakes, except they're not really mistakes, they're just learning opportunities. Okay, now I'm going to pour the rest of this on. Oh, there's not much left. Come on. Oh, I guess that's it. Okay, it'll spread out when we put some water on it. Okay, so I'm going to actually spray my brush, just because, you know, why not? Clean the brush off while you're at it. And it gives a diluted, and of course it's very wet there. So this is another, just a way of seeing how it looks very diluted. So in other words, it's more translucent. You can see through it when there's more water added. So let's add that to that area where you can't see through, and that's really what I'm doing is, oh, I like how that activates it. Let's just put a little bit up here. And, you know, I'm using one brush, which you don't have to use a brush actually. You can just use, you know, you can use all kinds of different brushes, but you don't have to use a brush. You can use kitchen utensils, a variety of kitchen utensils come in handy. And like I say, the sky's the limit. Okay, so I'm kind of, see how, I mean, that kind of looks cool to me, that there's this brighter saturated magenta now beside this muted color, which has the magenta in it. So it complements it because it has magenta in it. So this is just, I mean, doing this kind of exercise is a great way, you know, aside from using your sketchbook, it's a great way to just learn about how the paint reacts and how colors mix together. And then what you'll discover is that you're going to get some really cool things out of it, and you can either use it in your artwork or you can just use it to wrap presents. And somebody will say, oh my God, did you make that? Yeah. Anyway, not that you want approval from others. It's really about just having the fun doing it. So, you know, I like that way better now that it's got the muted colors on it. Let's see. I'm going to keep my paper towel handy this time so it doesn't drip off. And I'll just give you a quick show you what it does. I'm not sure what you're seeing, how closely you can see this, but I just want to let that run. Oh yeah, it's nice. Beautiful little rivulets of paint. It's awesome. And then we'll just bring this closer and okay. Let's tilt it this way. Hopefully it doesn't. Kind of handy working on a small table like this because you can just move it around as opposed to, you know, having it on your bench. You can literally just pick it up and tilt it just in the direction that I see the paint going. I kind of like, oh, if you like that, we'll just keep it dripping there. And so what this is doing is creating some differences in texture just simply by the paint moving by itself with some help from gravity. And yeah, it's really neat. It's very interesting. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave it because you could just keep fiddling with this forever, and pretty soon the tissue is gonna get so delicate it's gonna tear, which is fine. But okay, so we're gonna let this dry, and I'll show you when it's done what it looks like. Okay.